Draymond's head coach Steve Kerr came in and talked about the fact that you guys will face much more disciplined defenses here in the near future, especially in the playing game, and you guys need to be more disciplined. D'Anthony Melton said the same thing after the game. What was the breakdown with the discipline, and how do you guys kind of make sure that that's not the case next week?
Um, I think it's just a matter of staying focused, kind of putting together these sometime efforts, and you lose your focus. It's the NBA, so I think it's just a matter of having a better focus.
Draymond, Basti gave you guys some big minutes tonight. What have you seen from him through these 2 games?
Very live body. He's really good shot blocker. He rebounds the ball well. Lob threat, great finisher around the rim. He's got really good hands. I think that's the one thing that's kind of stood out most to me. He's got really, really good hands. So I think he's getting more and more comfortable, but he's been good these last couple games.
Had you seen much of him? I mean, he only been here 3 days. Have you seen much of him before?
Yeah, I've kind of watched him since he was at Western Kentucky. I try to keep up on all he was a big-time recruit, so I've saw him for quite a while, but, throughout his journey, Spurs and Philly, recent with Boston, I've seen him, but I didn't realize his hands was that good.
Steve talked about the last game and about how much of a different vibe it is in the building when Steph Curry's here. Just how much of a lift is it to have him back?
Pretty good. Yeah, it's he makes the game a lot easier for everybody.
What have these last 2 games felt like, and where do you feel the biggest difference with him? Is it just the spacing? Is it the energy? Is it?
I would say more last game than this game. This game was, yeah. But last game, you can just things just kind of fit into their normal spots. The familiarity. It's kind of looked more like the team I'm accustomed to seeing. The spacing is different. Obviously, he draws 2 and 3 people, so just having different reads to make, different things opening up because he's on the floor, I think is probably the biggest difference. And then also the confidence level of our group is probably the biggest difference. When he come on the court, you just think you can win, and that's a different mindset than we've had over the last couple months.
How nice was it to see Moses get that standing ovation from the crowd?
Well deserved, unexpected, but it's just nice to see him. Pleasant surprise, so it was great.
You been able to talk to him a little bit?
Yeah, for sure.
In terms of making the game easier for everyone, maybe specifically in terms of D'Anthony, how does Steph help him kind of unlock his game?
Well, all of a sudden you're not standing in front of the defense the whole play. The whole defense isn't loading up on you. And so you can play off closeouts, you get more open looks. And it's just not kind of the same weight to carry. So I think it helps not only Melt, it helps everybody, but I think, like I said, it just allows people to really do what they do.
Yesterday, Guy Santos was wearing a Defend for 10 shirt. I think Raymond's wearing it now.
That's cool.
What would it mean for you to make the all-defense team?
It mean a lot. I think I'm a pretty good defender. You want to be recognized for things you do well in this league. So it would mean a lot. And obviously the group of guys that are at 10 all-defense teams, it's a very short list, but a great list. And so just to possibly be in a category, listed in a category with the likes of those names, was something that I never imagined. And so anytime you can be next to those guys, you got to be doing something well. And, I've put together a pretty decent career, but to submit my name next to that list of guys would be extremely special.
What's up, Draymond? My name's Colin. I'm from Santa Rosa Junior College. I was just wondering, you guys had 17 turnovers tonight. How do you expect to clean those up?
I think it just goes back to the focus level. I think 9 of them came in the third quarter, and we've kind of had this thing of being terrible in third quarters. So I think we need to clean that up. But all of a sudden you drop that down to 8, and you have 3 turnovers in the third quarter, 4, and you're at 11, 12 turnovers, which is incredible. That'd lead the NBA. So I think it's just about coming out of the locker room with the focus level after the half that you come into the game with.
I know in the past you haven't loved just how stuck in the play-in at times y'all have been in the last 5 years, but this year you're now locked into 10. But because of the play-in, you have a chance still to get into the playoffs. I mean, how do you kind of view next week and the
It's not exciting. It's not. But I'm a competitor, so going to the game, I'm gonna do all I can to win. But it's not that exciting.
I mean, do you think you'll be excited next week when you have 2 do-or-die road games that they'll be on big stages?
Well, listen, you go on the road in a game that you need to win. I think as a competitor, you're gonna rise to the challenge. But I'm not going to sleep tomorrow night like, man, we got this play in next week. Got to get my rest. Like, no, it ain't that exciting.
Draymond, to that point, do you think the play-in is still good for the league as a whole, or would you rather it just went back to 1 to 8?
I think it worked initially, and now, to have a team stuck in 10th, it ain't working. So we could have lost our last 15 games and been stuck in 10th. It ain't working. Yeah. But it works for a little bit. But, if you could be stuck in 10th and lose all the last 15 games of your season, and you could be stuck in 10th, it ain't working. So, yeah. Well, I think the play-in was made for teams to not tank. I think that's the part that everyone forgets. The play-in came about to make teams maybe through 12 or 13 keep going. They ain't keep going. They kind of slowed down, and then they hit the brakes. So, I saw a team tonight foul Steph Curry with 3 minutes to go in the game for no reason. In the penalty, it ain't working. But we want to make the playoffs, so it works, I guess. I think I get fined when I do wrong. Just fine the hell out of people. We love taking money from players. Keep fining the teams. I've seen 2 fines, and we all know everybody tanking. But you've seen 2 fines. If it was players, we snatched that money in a heartbeat. Why isn't it the same? Everybody love money. Well, so, the punishment for players is always, let's take the money. Well, now it becomes time to punish teams, and all of a sudden, nobody don't know what to do. Why not? We know exactly what to do when somebody gets a technical foul or suspended for a game. We know exactly what to do. But all of a sudden, we got team issues, and we don't know what to do. What happened to the whole take the money stuff? Everybody else trying to reach a quota too. But when it comes to player discipline, we want to snatch the money as fast as we can. Come to team discipline, and we see 12 teams tanking. We've seen 2 fines. my math serves me correctly, that's a 10 that ain't been fined. Just some quick math. It could be wrong, so don't judge me if it's wrong. But, we don't keep that same energy when it comes to teams, when it comes to officials, when it comes to everybody but players. We don't keep that same energy. But it's a players' league.